So you want to buy a bike from Copart. You've grown in your biking journey and you're finally ready for your first project bike. And the bikes on Copart look cheap and affordable. And you know how to wrench on a bike, so you can fix it, right? I'm gonna share like a few tips that you should look into when getting a bike from Copart, and I'll share my personal story first, and then I'll give you the five like tips. So early this year, I decided the same thing that like I've been riding for 3 years. I'm ready to like pick up a project bike. So I picked up this bike from Copart. I spotted it on Copart. I didn't have a bike at the moment. I just sold my bike, I had some money in my pocket, and I thought this was a great idea, like a bike I could fix. Yeah, so I bid on it. I put on it immediately because if you know the Gladius, the SFA 650 are not very sought after bikes in this market. Most people want the original SV 650, so I thought no one else was going to outbid me, and that was a mistake I made. And I ended up paying more because of the mistake. So I bid on it, and this is how much I ended up getting it for. I hadn't budgeted in the extra costs from Copart, so I'll add in the extra costs here. This after I paid this for it, I got it home, I fixed it up. This is some other cost that I had to pay. Of course, I had to convert it to like an A2 license. Everything's been going on quite well for me, but I got very lucky. I'll share like why. First things first, the first thing that you should do if you're going to bid on a motorcycle on Copart is do not bid until the bidding day. Do not bid until the final bidding day. See, when I first saw the motorcycle, it had the lowest price possible. I think it was like the starting bid was like at 400 and I bid at 500. And I was like, no one else is gonna outbid me. But then 500 was still a very affordable price. So someone came later, and so 500 is above affordable, bid at 525, and then continued bidding and continued bidding. And I think because of how I kept outbidding the other person or the other people who kept bidding before the actual bid, who probably weren't interested in the bike as I was, is that on the bidding day, the bid was already at 800 euros. So, whereas if I hadn't bid at all at the first place, the starting bid on the day of bidding, where there's like a countdown, would have been much lower, and I probably would have gotten the bike for much cheaper. So, I'm telling this to you. If you see a bike that you're interested in, take note of it, but do not bid until the final bidding day. You'll save so much money because then it's like a split second decision. Second thing, and this is something they actually did, is do research on the bike. So if you're going to be buying a bike that's been crashed or a bike that's been stolen, like log into a software such as AutoVex or Kawa or whatever like software you can use to check up on crash damaged bikes. See if you can find some information on the previous owner. Reach out to them, ask them about the bike, because usually Copart sells the bike as it is. For example, my bike was listed as a bike that had only gone for 20,000 kilometers, I guess. But when I reached out to the actual owner, he told me that the bike had like the speedometer module changed at some point. So the actual kilometers was about 30 something thousand kilometers. He then told me about how the bike had gotten stolen, about like all the things that I needed that had been changed, all the problems it had before, and all that sort of things. And it sort of gave me a picture of whether I would be able to fix this bike or whether I would not. For example, this is what was like written on my bike, and this is all the information I had to go on. But reaching out to the guy helped me a lot because I got lots of information, and I think that you should do like the research yourself as well. Reach out to the previous owner before you even bid on the bike. Find out what happened to the bike, find out what else is there, and then make your decision after that. Number 3, if this is your first project, I cannot stress this enough, but avoid frame damaged bikes. Just avoid frame damaged bikes. If this is your first project, avoid them. They're a bit more complicated in terms of registration, because if a frame is completely damaged, then the bike is not road legal in most countries because the like frame number and the license plate are linked. So even if everything else is working apart from the frame, it complicates registering the bike again for road use. Unless you're buying the bike for truck use or something else, it's usually not a viable decision. I'd advise you to look for stolen bikes that have been like slightly damaged. So stuff such as trunks, handlebars, stuff such as that. Stolen bikes, at least from the research I've done, are the safest bet because a stolen bike usually just has wiring problems. But this is not a one size fits all. Keep that in mind. Number four thing on the list is save money for registration. Usually, when bikes are taken into to copart, when they're written off, they're deregistered. And registering a bike again usually costs some sort of money depending on where you are. There are usually more costs that come from registration. There might be an inspection cost. You might need to pay for the license plate again, depending on where you live, and all those sort of things. So that is something important to leave like in your budget. From what I've learned, let the bike you're buying be 30% of what you have in store. If you have 3,000 euros saved for the bike project, then spend 1,000 euros. Leave yourself with 2,000 euros for repair. And lastly, number five is prepare for anything. Copart and all these auctioneers are not your friends. So prepare for anything. Prepare for anything. Yeah. If you follow those five tips, you should have a better head start than I did when I bought my bike, which I absolutely love. And good luck on your corporate journey. If you have any questions, put them in the comment section. I'd be happy to hear what's in your mind. Drop a subscription if you are into motorcycle content or if you like this type of content. And yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.